Hey there! So, welcome back to another video. So, as you can see from the title of the video and all these things, today we're going to be doing the history of blush. Now, yes, remember in my last history video, I was like, okay, next time we do a history video, we're going to try something different. So this is that's why my makeup's already done. Also, like, just to address the makeup, after doing it, I'm like really in love with it. I just think that these parts over here, I didn't have to do, and the eye, I didn't have to do. That's just me criticizing my own work. I really love it otherwise. Like, it's so beautiful. So yeah, today we're doing the history of blush. That's why we're doing pink. And like I said in my other one, today we're not gonna, oh, my hair. There's always something. There's always something. Today we're gonna be doing the research while I'm gonna research on camera. Usually I record the video and then do research, or do research then record the video. So it's very like that. Like, I never do research while I'm speaking. You know what I mean? The closest thing we got to that was my 60s video. And in that video I basically just read off of a paper, basically, which isn't gonna be too different from what we're doing today. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, but with all that being said, let's hop right into the video. Okay, so I do need my glasses to see, but I also don't want to ruin the makeup. You know what? Everybody get your good last look. Get it? Okay, work. So I know that now, like, the light is shining and reflecting off my glasses. The thing is, like, I need my glasses to see, A, and B, when I don't wear them for a long time, I get a headache, and I don't want that, and I can already feel a headache coming. And if I'm sniffing, it's because of my sinuses. Let's just either collectively ignore that, ignore the sniffing, ignore the sinus, or please help me. Like, I don't know, if you know some remedy for your sinuses, let me know, because I would really love to know it. So yeah, like I said, usually I do the research off camera, and then I do a voiceover of the research if you haven't seen. If you're new here, hello. So that's usually the tea. And I'm not going to do a screen recording of what's going on here just because it's a whole lot of, like, it's a lot and I don't want to do that. I'm just going to read what the computer's saying, basically. And usually what I type is the history of blank, just to get like the most broad search, basically. So let's see, history of blush. Ooh, Business Insider has like a really good article about a gruesome and lengthy history of why we use blush. Yeah! InTheGloss.com has the history of blush into the gloss, which that doesn't sound that interesting, no offense. AllBeauty.com, history of blush, a journey of blush through the ages, I'm assuming. I hate it when Google doesn't do the whole title, it's so annoying. A brief history of blush, rouge, that's from Wikipedia, we don't trust that. Did anybody else as school teachers be like, don't use Wikipedia? And now I like have trust issues towards Wikipedia because our school teachers were like, you can't use that as a viable like research source. And now I just don't trust her. So sorry Wikipedia, I hope you're not watching.
This is her real story. You're a liar. This is her real story. Her teeth. Lorianne, this.
So honestly, that first article really got me together, like a gruesome history of blush. I doubt it. The best cosmetic item, and you're gonna tell me it's gruesome? I think not. This is from Insider, which isn't Insider the one with the YouTube channel? Let's quickly do some research. YouTube.com. Hello. I hate it when things load long. Like, why are you taking so long? Insider. I think Insider is the one with the YouTube channel because they do like those experts react, I think. What is happening? Can you just search? Okay, wait, here we go. Texas Man, Leave Master. No, I was thinking of a different channel there. What's the channel that does the, like, experts react? I'm sure that's this one. Because I love those videos, guys. That is such, like, I love that idea for videos. Yes! These are so good. If you haven't, go watch the experts react. They're really, really cool. Okay, so let's see what Insider says about blush. Insider summary. Blush is probably part of the movie. Okay, I'm not going to spoil all the juicy details now. We're not going to spoil anything. Okay, this actually seems like a really good article. So usually, Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. Usually what I do is I read through the article, take parts of the article, and then put them in a Word document, and then that's what I use to like speak off, or that's what I use to read off of when I do the voiceover. But I think this is a pretty good article, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is like a very in-depth blush thingy. Okay, people seem to have a lot of questions, concerns surrounding the extent of blush. That pinkish powder, millions of women love to... Okay, we're back to just women.
Yes, I am woman.
Millions of women love to dab onto the apples of their cheeks. Google it, and you'll see headlines like, guys are attracted to girls who wear blush. I've never seen that, heard that, nor fucking...
No one says that, but yes.
And sex hormones make women's faces redder. Okay. If it's my hormones making my face red, somebody better impregnate me, because my face is red. It's a product that, despite its ubiquity, I don't know what that word means. You see, this is where I'm basically just exposing myself, because everybody's gonna see how dumb I am. I don't know these words. Ubiquity. See, now, usually I do Google the word that I don't know. Ubiquity. Let's listen.
Ubiquity.
Ubiquity. I even said it right the first time. It's a pleasure. The fact of appearing everywhere. Okay, so something's very common. It's ubiquity, I guess. It's a product that, despite its ubiquity and so many women swiping it on without a second thought, it's actually filled with a lot of unknown. Oh, it's filled with a lot of unknowns. Is my... No, this thing is like right on me. Don't fall. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. Like, don't be extra today. Please. I said belief. Okay. Oh my gosh. The actual stress. Okay. It's actually filled with a lot of unknowns. Perhaps most critically, why is it even a thing? Why is blush a thing? Can you see my face? That's why it's a thing. So that people can make beautiful things on their face. Thank you.
Right, public school, calm down.
We were curious ourselves, so to answer that question, we looked back at the history of how blush became such an essential part of everyone's beauty routine. Work. Thank you, Insider, for doing this, because I would have had to make this article if you didn't. I wouldn't. So many of our beauty essentials, they started in ancient Egypt, which, are you surprised? Are you surprised? No, you're not. Okay, a lot of our makeup stems from Egypt. Like, a lot of it comes from that part of the world, that part of history. And if you didn't know that, now you know. Now you know. In ancient Egypt, ground red ochre, which is a natural pigment, that's what they put there, was mixed with fat to create a red lint that people would smear on their lips and their cheeks. That popped against harsh black coal around their eyes. And when we say people, we mean men and women, okay? So basically, they used lots of Egyptian makeup. Oh my gosh, what is that? I have an Archie. Lots of Egyptian makeup is made from natural pigments, and they mixed it with like fat or oils to create makeup. So yes, and in ancient Egypt as well, in lots of ancient civilizations, in most actually, both men and women wear makeup. There are some, I don't know which ones, but there are some where only men wore makeup. Yeah, I can't remember which ones, but I did read it somewhere. For those of you that are like, what kind of men wear makeup? Sweetie, they've been doing it longer than you've been growing your beard. Okay, relax. Meanwhile, the Romans used red vermilion and the Greeks used crushed mulberries on their cheeks. Work. Which stood in stark contrast with their pale faces and ended up becoming a status symbol of sorts. But, as with many cosmetics of this era, it was also deadly, yes. So if you didn't know, lots of the time in those eras, because like our technology is so advanced, I guess, and even not that advanced, because even sometimes we still have moments where we're like, is this safe? So lots of the times in those days, lots of the things that they'd put on their faces as makeup, well, I don't know why I'm saying makeup, lots of the things that they'd use for makeup were like extremely toxic, and they didn't know at the time because obviously their technology was not as advanced. So yeah, not many people knew, and I don't know, did people actually die? I don't actually know. That'd be interesting. Okay, the chalk or lead face powder that they'd use to whiten their faces was toxic. So yeah, that wasn't very good, obviously. With this new development, so with people finding out that it was toxic, in the Middle Ages, there was a drop in cosmetic use, as very pale skin had become a signifier of high class. According to Into the Gloss, which is the other article that I was going to read. Wow, crazy.
This is crazy.
People took this time Wait, what? People at this time took being pale so seriously that they would... I can't say this. I don't know why I can't say the sentence. People at this time took being pale so seriously that they would regularly bleed themselves with leeches. Is it really that serious? Do we need to be... Oh, I don't know. That seems a little too serious for me. Ouchie. Okay, so while the workers certainly had red skin from working outside all day, the high classes would shutter themselves indoors, or even slather on egg whites to achieve the palest complexion possible. Another reason why this was so important was that heavily rouged cheeks were associated with prostitutes' work. I love that. I mean, I'm a big advocate for making sex work legal, so anything where they're like, this is for prostitutes, mama, you best believe tomorrow I'm wearing red cheeks. Not because I am a sex worker, but because I'm advocating for them. I won't do that, but I do advocate for them. So that's crazy. People actually used to bleed themselves to make themselves pale. That's too much. I don't know about you, but like, I don't think anybody's status is that important, that you need to be literally bleeding yourself to make yourself look pale. It was a fine line that everyone treaded until a woman by the name of Elizabeth I, England's queen from 1958 to 1603, endorsed the use of blush again. Given that she had a signature look all her own, bright red hair, a pale face, a high forehead, yes god, and a slathering of rouge. However, so there's always a but, there's always an however. Very unfortunately, while women loved cosmetics, from the 1500s to the 1700s, cosmetics did not love women, as many of them were still extremely toxic. In terms of blush, toxic chemicals were used in many of the most popular concoctions, and when it was applied to the lips, which was a popular alternative to lipstick, it could actually poison the person. That's fun. The gamble of your life, just being like, oh my gosh, blush. And again, we say person because particularly in France in the 1700s, both men and women experimented with not only a lightened face, but blush as well. So a lot of people died because of blush, which makes me love it even more. The reason we've gathered for blush existing for such a long time in the beauty industry, despite fads and poisonings, is that blush signified a kind of youthfulness, like a child running around in a park with plump pink cheeks. That's what I'm saying. I believe in blush, and I believe that blush makes you look younger sometimes, period. Especially when you wear this much. Like, is this not a child running through the park? We've all been there. We've all been this red. Makeup continued to be controversial after the French Revolution, which ended in 1799, amid so much turmoil and conflict, especially around the wealthiest in France. Makeup started to be seen as too extravagant, and on top of that, Queen Victoria, who ruled over the United Kingdom from 1837 until her death in 1901, announced that wearing heavy makeup like red lipstick was impolite, associating it with sex workers again, work. And so lighter makeup and natural looking makeup yet again was more in favor, with women biting their lips to make them pinker and using crushed beets for blush. Oh my gosh, biting lips? That's gross. Ew. I'm assuming my lips are dry from that. There's this little window over here of recommended video, and I'm like confused by it. Can I take it away? No, I can't. It's just chilling here. Like, there's a lizard now. Oh, is that? Oh, deforestation, guys. It's too real. Yeah, so people were biting their lips and using beetroot to do blush. Hello. My dog. Then something happened at the turn of the century that would change makeup and people's thoughts about it forever. Makeup became industrialized with companies like, I don't know this name, Guerlain, I'm gonna go search it now, I'm just busy scratching my dog, and L'Oreal, realizing the appeal makeup had for so many women and then mass producing it. Basically, this is where companies decided to mass produce makeup because of its popularity, so that's fun. I just want to search this company because obviously it's well known. How do you pronounce it? Because Guerlain, pronunciation, let's see. It's French though. Guerlain. Oh, Guerlain. Okay, work. So Guerlain and L'Oreal. I did not know of this it looks like they sell like really high-end makeup, so that's why I don't know about them. So they started mass producing makeup, and basically this is where it became safer. So this is where they actually were like, maybe we shouldn't use like toxic chemicals. So the stage was set for blush to once again become mainstream, and that it did, let's be real. In the 1920s, flappers wore blush. In the 50s, pinups like Marilyn Monroe and housewives wore blush. In the 70s, men like David Bowie wore blush. Okay, advocates for the blush. In the 80s, blush went through a bit of a heyday when bold makeup was all the rage. The 80s is so iconic, and women used to define their cheekbones. That is such a random point. They're like, oh my gosh, crazy makeup, and women started defining their cheekbones.
Okay.
Since then, blush has certainly been toned down and a bit augmented, which I don't really know what that word means, but I've heard it a lot, so it's fine. Now, contouring and shaping the face with powder in shades of brown rather than pink is popular. Although wearing blush as it was originally used on the apples of the cheeks isn't considered all that rare either. And then they put a picture of Kim Kardashian. Where's this from? Is this from the Met Gala? Okay. I hate that lip on her. Okay, on women like Reese Witherspoon or Ruth Negga, pink blush is still very much a thing, which that is also such a random point to put in. And then they have a picture of Reese and a picture of Ruth. Okay, also going through a bit of a critical phase right now. Not only are women like Rihanna, of course, having more fun with it and splattering it onto half of her face. Okay, so basically they're just speaking about like when people wear like a lot of blush, okay, but trendy makeup companies aimed at young women like Glossier are trying to make it seem super cool too, launching a liquid blush in March that people are currently obsessing over. Which, when was this article released? I guess 2017. Could this be the start of a new blush revolution? Maybe. So here's the blush, not only for its ability to survive a gruesome and lengthy history and come out as one of the most efficient makeup items of our time, but also for constantly adapting to trends and the women who love to wear it. Okay, thank you for that, insider. That was great. I think we'll do another article. What can we search? Let's search something like famous blush. Oh my gosh, no. Famous, let's say like bad blush application. Just to see, I just want to see. Okay, here we have it, bad blush. Now, to me personally, a bad blush application is when the blush is not doing anything for the person. For me, like, obviously it depends on what look you're going for, but if a blush is not super blended, it doesn't look good all the time, unless you're looking for something super concentrated, then that's fine too. But yeah, let's look at some of these bad blushes. Can we go for famous bad blush? Famous. Because I just want to see famous people. They're just giving me photo shoots and I'm like, no. Let's see. Famous bad blush. Here we have a photo of Rihanna at that same Met Gala. These are all good blush. Don't be rude. That is a makeup look for a runway. I don't agree. We have a photo of Keira Knightley. Okay. Okay, here we have one of Nicole Kidman. Now, this is not so much a blush problem as it is a powder problem. She's getting flashback, which is never great. Like, her makeup artist should have worked better on that. That's really unfortunate. But basically, I guess this is bad blush because her blush is coming like all the way here, which is not too bad if I'm being honest. I don't think that it looks horrible. Next, this is from a runway as well. We're not going to critique a runway's blush. Okay, here we have a Drew Barrymore. Again, this is not, okay, actually this might be a blush problem, but it's also a powder problem at the same time. I'll try and find these photos and put them up because they're from the skincareedit.com, so I'll try and find them. But basically, here in this photo of Drew, now Drew Barrymore is a very, very, very beautiful lady. She's very beautiful, okay? But her blush is like here, which I know I should not be speaking because my blush is also there, but it's just extremely low on her face and I don't think it's doing much for her. Like, this is what I mean when I say blush should do something for you. I just think that blush could be applied to her in a much better way. I would just say that, like maybe a little higher on the cheekbone. That's just me. Blush mistakes you're probably making. Let's see what this article says. I think I'm quite interested to see that because this famous blush application that I'm trying to do is not really working. They're giving me flashback problems. So here we have a photo. It's actually quite a nice photo of like blush on the cheeks. And blush is an essential part of makeup. It makes us look more awake and completes our face, but it can also have the opposite effect from the wrong color to the wrong kind. One blush mistake can ruin an otherwise pretty look. Okay, so this actually makes quite a good point. Now, so I think that the color of blush that you use is very important. This is going into less history and more like advice. The color of brush that you use is important. You cannot wear the wrong color for your skin tone. For instance, if you have deeper skin tone and you're going to wear like an extremely pale blush, it's not going to look good on you. If you're extremely pale and you wear like a very, very, very deep, beautiful like pink or purple blush, like it won't look good on you either, because different blushes go with different skin tones. Let's just say that. I will say that like a deep pink goes with a lot of skin tones, and an orange goes with a lot of skin tones. That's just my opinion. So yeah. And the wrong kind of blush, good point. A lot of like drugstore blushes have like shimmer in them, which is not like a huge issue, but just be careful, because like the areas in which you're putting blush, lots of the time they have texture, and all that shimmer does is bring texture out, and the last thing you want is to, so like shimmer always will bring out texture. So I think people most of the time don't really think about that. Like they just pick up a blush because it's a nice color instead of looking at the texture of the blush. So I think my personal opinion is that a matte blush is always better than any other blush. That's just me though. But let's see. One mistake you're making with your blush is that you wear too much. I do not agree. Actually, I do agree. So I like to pack on blush. Now I will say that, and you'll know. But I think that too much of the wrong color blush can look bad. And too much of like, if you're gonna apply blush and you're gonna do a lot, if you're gonna do like a really concentrated blush, you can't make it concentrated all over. Like you can't make it concentrated here, here, and here, because then it's just gonna be too much, and that's what I understand. But if you're gonna do like a very concentrated blush, do like concentrate in one area and blend that out, if that makes sense. So yeah, sort of agree, sort of don't agree. Choosing the wrong color, I already went over that just because, so I'm not gonna read it because I already went over it. Actually, I'm not gonna read any of these. Well, the search results aren't really giving what I wanted them to. That is okay. I'll just go cry about it. But anyways, let me quickly just shut down this computer if it wants to go there. Bitch. Can you, okay, I'm just gonna put her over there. Okay, so there we have it. History of blush plus a little bit of like blush mistakes and stuff like that, and like some celebrity fails. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have not already, please like the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. I'd really actually appreciate a comment. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I hope you guys have a great morning or evening or night, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye. Bye. Bye.